Hey, what's up, guys? This is Guillermo Auto. I'm removing a aftermarket alarm on a 2004 to 2008 Sienna Toyota van. This is actually 2006, but this can work for 2004 to 2008. So basically, we're going to start by removing this little guy. And your alarm might be slightly different here and there, but this is just the style that I have, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull this off. It's two little screws holding it on. Go ahead and get this off. Pull that down. Yours might be underneath the steering panel. Next, I'm going to take the steering panel off. It's this 10mm bolt over here. Go ahead and remove that. And then there's one here, but it's under this panel, so I got to take this panel off. So what I'm going to do is take this panel off. You can just put your fingers underneath and wiggle it up, wiggle it free. And then go ahead and put it over here. Now I can get the smaller panel off, or this corner panel off. And there should be a little twisty thing here. This one's missing, but yours might have. You can just hand twist it off or use a screwdriver if you need to. So this pulls off. I'm going to get that off, wiggle it free, put that aside. And now I'm going to get this 10mm off. There we go. Alright. So now I'm going to slightly just wiggle this steering panel and just wiggle it till it pops out. Alright, and don't lose these little yellow tabs that are on there. And there's also going to be some wires connected, so don't want to rip it off. You got to disconnect these wires first. Here they are. These, I just use a flathead and push on the little tab and push out. You can use your fingers too if you want. Here's what they look like when they're out. The tab is right here on the end. You push the tab down and pull it out. Same for this one, except the tab's on this side. Let's go ahead and pull this one out. Okay, we got that out. And there's a a little switch over here. We're going to disconnect this one. Same concept. Use a tab. And then there's this hood release. You can disconnect this. You can just pop it out from here, and then you remove the cord, the cable, from there. And there's one more connector before we take it off. The connector is over here. So we'll go ahead and disconnect this black connector, and then this comes free. Put it over here for now. So now we got all of our wires exposed. As you can see, there are these little things down here. I call these biters. I don't know what their technical name is, but basically these are leeching on the OEM wires, and they're getting a signal from these wires. They could be disconnected. You just pull them apart. Pull the blue part from the red part, but be careful not to yank on the wire, because you could break the wire or pull it out of its connector, and then that's a whole mess. They're kind of like everywhere. There's some up here, and here's a little module for the alarm, the relay alarm. So just take a look, see what you got. Yours is probably going to look a little different from mine, or maybe it looks the same, I don't know. But first I'm going to disconnect these down here. That's what they look like. Just pull them apart. You can leave the red part on there. The red part on there will make it inactive. Also, I'm going to cut these zip ties. Any zip ties you see, I'm just going to cut them. Usually cars from the factory don't have zip ties all over them. So that's like a sign that it's an aftermarket deal. Go ahead and just cut zip ties and try to pull out some of this mess. Alright, so I'm going to move these aside. These are my good connectors. These are the ones I disconnected. I'm going to put these aside because I know these are good. I don't need to mess with them or damage them, and focus on the other wires. Alright, so looking in here, there's some biters in here. There's a module right here for the alarm. I'm going to pull this out. And what I like to do is just kind of clean house with these wires. Like, aftermarket stuff, I just kind of pull it out slowly and gently and just see what I'm working with. And then just kind of look and see what I got to disconnect and take out. So this is definitely aftermarket. There's just some excess wire right here. Go and pull that out just to make things more simple in here. Okay, so it looks like some more zip ties. I'm gonna go and cut these and loosen things up. So here's a bunch of mess I got out. And then if you look in there, there's some biters near the steering column on the wire harness. So we're gonna take this panel off right here. It's 4 10mm bolts right here, there, right here, over here, and we'll be able to get to those biters. Alright, so looking around in here, take this panel off. Alright, and you gotta disconnect the DLC connector. It's right here. You push the side tabs in and then you pull it inward. It'll come out. So we'll go and disconnect that and set this metal panel aside. Alright, now I can get to these biters right here. I'm going to go and disconnect them. Remember, don't pull on too hard, just separate them, and you can leave the red part on the wire if you want. It won't hurt nothing. So I got these disconnected. If you notice, these ones aren't biters, these are actually connected to wires. Take a closer look. This is a black wire with a yellow tracer. And this one over here, same thing, black wire with yellow tracer. That means this wire's been broken in two, and then they ran wires from that. So what we're going to do is connect this black and yellow wire together. So we're going to cut these two and just run these together, and now we'll reconnect that wire to be one wire. So what I like to do, before I do that though, I'm going to get this wire's running up here. I'm going to go and disconnect this. Just got this one out, okay. And so now I can work on this. So I'm going to cut these wires, and almost every alarm I did, there's always a spot where they actually cut into one wire. That's just how alarm systems work. So this is normal procedure. I'm just, like I said, I'm just cutting these two wires and putting them together so it simulate, the factory wire, or just putting the factory wire, back in one piece. That's all. So we're going to trim the ends of these wires, and if you don't know how to trim the wires, maybe Google it or look it up. I think I'm going to upload a video in the future on how to, cut wires and stuff. If you use dikes or wire cutters, be careful if you're using dikes. So we're going to take the ends off these wires so we can use like a butt connector to connect them. So I got the tips off here on each side. I'm going to put this connector in. This just goes over it, and then you smash the connector so it'll grab it, and then you do the same for the other side, just like that. So now my wire is back to being single wire again. The car should start now. I'm going to start it up. Well, first I'm going to make sure, double check. Actually, I'm going to get all this stuff out of here first, just to make sure I got all the wires, So I'm going to cut the zip tie and just pull the excess. And this is what, removing these wires is just kind of slowly, just piece by piece, getting all the old aftermarket wiring out until you just got none left. So now my car should start, and yours should too. Yep, starts right up. Alright. So that's good. Now we just got to put everything back together and get rid of all this mess. So let's treat ourselves to some AC. You could have this running while you put everything back together. Forgot to mention not to have the car on when you're doing it. So I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. And, oh, grab yourself some relays if yours has some. Take these relays off. You might need them for your car later on. They're extras. Alright, yep, so here's what they look like. Yours may only have one or none. If you have any extra parts like this, just save them, and maybe you could find out what they're for later on. Just like parts you don't remember what they were. So I'm probably going to zip tie this wire up here so it doesn't get caught in anything or, get hooked on anything. I'm going to put this up. It hangs on these hooks, and then there's 4 10mm bolts. Go ahead and put these on. Okay, I got my bolts on. Alright. So after that panel's on, and I got my bolts in. Alright, then we gotta put the panel on for this part. Just make sure your white clip ain't missing. If your white clip's right there, you should switch it over. Just pulls out, and then just stick it in here, and then push it in the kick panel here. You gotta line that little stud up on the back near the e-brake. Alright, and once you got that on, then you just put this little panel on. These just push in, you just kind of line them upright, and then you just kind of, I just kind of work my hand around and push it down, clips in place. But don't try to force it. If it's not going, just try to take it off and try to realign it. Alright, so now this, the steering panel, the plastic one, make sure all my yellow pieces are on it. And I gotta remember to connect all these connectors. And hook up the hood latch too. It's that connector over there too. Alright, so I'm gonna just lift it up here. I'm gonna connect all my connectors. This one over here, not to forget that one. And then hook up my my little hood cable, and don't forget the DLC connector on that metal panel. We hooked that up now. And these are just strays for now because this car didn't have whatever feature. And oh, this actually goes behind this panel, so we'll take that off again and put that on there. All right, so now I got this on. I connected everything. I pushed all the things back in. I'm gonna put my bolts in now. The 10mm there and the 10mm there. All right, got that 10mm in and that 10mm in, and then we'll put this kick panel back on. All right, and then to hook the hood cable up, it goes in this little slot right here, and then you run the cable through that little opening, and then this spot is where you push that black part of the cable in. So make sure that's good. And so I got that on, and it's working. Everything's looking good. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. You can watch it a couple times if you need to get the concept. But please like, comment, and subscribe. And